Hi, and welcome to another episode of Toya Talks Wrestling. In today's episode, I'm gonna title this "What Was in the Crate?" or "Who was in the crate?" Whatever. Anyways, so at Elimination Chamber, there was a crate that was finally open. So before that, 2 weeks prior to Elimination Chamber, and I don't know what it is about Elimination Chamber and being 2 weeks prior to Elimination Chamber that we have to have some big news or something going on, because last year we had The Rock wanting Cody Rhodes' soul and say, I'll give you about 2 weeks and you give me your answer at Elimination Chamber, and then Cody Rhodes told The Rock to go fuck himself. That was a great moment and everything else like that. So this year, 2 weeks prior to Elimination Chamber, we get a crate that was delivered to Raw, and Adam Pearce, the Raw manager, was like, what's in the crate? And the guy who delivered was like, I don't know. And Adam Pearce asked, was it delivered to me? He's like, no, it's delivered to like WWE. And he's like, what was in the crate? And like, and everything else. And on the crate it says don't open until February 28th, with February 28th was Elimination Chamber. And so Adam Pearce is like, well, go send it to Nick Aldis over there on SmackDown or whatever. Let him deal with it and stuff like that and everything not like that. So then Nick Aldis gets it. He's like, what's in the crate? And Pearce pretty much, well, go send it back to Raw and everything else, and go send it back to SmackDown or whatever. And the first time I'm thinking to myself, well, if you can't open it until, you know, Elimination Chamber February 28th, why don't you just send it to Chicago? Alright, just send it straight to Chicago. Like, why you didn't send it to SmackDown, back to Raw, back to SmackDown again? I was like, okay, whatever. Like, just send it to Chicago. Wait till you get there. But like, whatever. But obviously not, because we have to know what was in the crate. We have to, like, be reminded of this crate and everything else. Now, I personally didn't give a shit what was in the fucking crate. I don't give a shit, because whatever it was, to me, was DOA. Okay? I don't know what's in the crate. I don't care what's in the crate. It's DOA in my mind. It's dead on arrival. Whatever it is, it's dead on arrival. But you had, like, Johnny Gargano, because he's in a depressed mood. So he's laying on the crate because he's just sad and everything else. You had, like, R-Truth and Los Gonzas and Fraxium and all the tag teams. I'm like, no wonder why the tag teams are dead. They're too busy worried about what's in the fucking crate or standing around the crate and everything else. I'm just like, oh my god, this fucking crate. So finally, we get to Elimination Chamber, February 28th. And I think it was like right after CM Punk's match. We get to open the crate, right? And the crate is positioned on the stage where, like, the people, the wrestlers and the stars will come out at, and the crate was there, and Nick Aldis is on one side and Adam Pearce is on the other side, and they're crowbarring the thing open. They got a bunch of crowbars and they're trying to open it and everything else, and then it opens and you hear kind of like the some eerie sound, kind of like if you ever watch Michael Jackson's Thriller, like, you know, some shit like that. And inside the crate is a coffin. So the crate is up, like it's standing up, like, you know, vertical, right? And so it's a coffin. So then there's some smoke, and then there's like the music starts playing. The coffin opens up. The music starts playing. The music kind of reminded me of like, what was that fucking musical? The Rocky Horror Show. Kind of reminds me of that. Until you step to the right and put your hands on your hips, and, you know, some shit like that. Kind of remind me of that music and everything else. A guy is laughing anonymously and basically saying you're cursed, and I'm just like, well, that explains 2025 and the beginning of 2026. So yes, I believe it. Thank you. It's finally all makes sense now. So, like I said, the coffin up, and then a bunch of women come out, and they're dressed in like kind of like black bodysuits with like vampire capes and like white face paint makeup and like had like black lipstick and like black like eye makeup and everything else like that, and they're dancing around and everything else, and then some guy comes out and he's wearing like, he has like black pants and he has on like the vampire cape and with no shirt, and he's pretty much like has a big ass tattoo on his shirt, not on his shirt, on his chest and on his arms and everything else, and he's posing and all this other stuff, and he had like a jar full of teeth. Yes, a jar full of teeth, yes. And he's going around the ring, and you know, and the song's constantly saying, you are cursed, and I'm just like, I feel cursed because I have no idea what the hell is going on right now, and I'm just looking confused. Like I'm digging the music though. Let me just tell you this. I'm digging the music. I'm like, you know, snapping my fingers and clapping and everything else. I have no idea what's going on, but I'm digging the music. And they go around like around the ring and everything else, and the girls go into the ring and they're dancing in the ring and everything else, and the guy is like, gives like Michael Cole like the jar full of teeth, and you know, and Wade Barrett's like, congratulations, you know, you got for your first pair of dentures or some shit like that, and everything else. And the guy goes into the ring and he pulls his hands up in the air, and there's big old smoke, and the lights go out, and he disappears, and the girls disappear, and the crowd boos. The crowd, Chicago crowd, they booed. But there might be plenty of reasons why they would boo. Maybe they thought they were gonna be somebody else. Like, if you honestly thought so anyways, like, they thought there might be somebody else, something else, whatever, but it turns out it was some guy named Danhausen. I'm sorry if I say his name wrong. I have no idea who this person is. No clue who he is. All I know was that once upon a time he was working for AEW, and I guess he was under contract for like years, and he'd been wanting to get out, maybe not years, maybe months, I don't know, but he wanted to get out of his contract, and TK didn't want him. TK was being an asshole and not letting him be released and everything else, and he was just standing at home doing nothing, getting paid. But like, you know, some people are like, I just want to stay at home, get paid, you know. Hey Tony Khan, if you want to like pay me to do absolutely nothing, please give me a check. But and he wanted to get out and everything else, and I think the night before, the midnight, I think it was the same day as Elimination Chamber, that midnight he was finally released from AEW. So, and he's also the best friend of CM Punk. So I'm just like, when someone told me that, I'm like, oh, okay. I can see this guy being used as some sort of like, I don't want to say a prop because it has to sound so like mean or anything like that, but could be used within the storyline between CM Punk and Roman Reigns. Because Roman Reigns attacks this guy, then you know you get the fire in CM Punk. You remember like CM Punk was so freaking pissed off when like Drew McIntyre stole like that $2 freaking bracelet and everything else like that. Can you imagine what would happen to like in this story, in this feud, if you know Roman Reigns put hands on CM Punk's best friend? Can you imagine? And that's what I'm like, oh, okay, I think I get it now. But like I said, the audience booed. I don't know why the audience booed, because I mean, I didn't get it, but I didn't boo. I didn't understand I didn't know who it was. So you know what I'm saying, like, I didn't know who he was after the fact, but I wasn't going to boo or anything. I wasn't going to be like, I was kind of like, well, that's it. Like, maybe if he would have said something, maybe if he would have like spoken or something like that, maybe the audience wouldn't have, because at the beginning of the thing, when he came out of the coffin, everybody was like, there was a pop. It wasn't like a huge pop, but I mean, there was some sort of a pop. So maybe they expected him to say something, or you know, hell, maybe you see CM Punk come out and give him a hug. I don't know, do something, you know, something like that. But I'm not 100% sure. I hope people weren't expecting like a big name to come out of a crate. Like, if you were like, if you're expecting like a Jericho to come out of the crate, then you're like just an idiot. Like I'm sorry, you're just dumb. You're just a dumb idiot for actually thinking that. Why would you think that? And I'm just like, so yeah, I can understand why they would be upset, because you know, I thought maybe he would say something or introduce himself and everything else like that, because like we knew who he was, because like Michael Cole, like the people at home knew who it was, because Michael Cole was like, the Downhounds just give me a jar full of teeth, and they're like, yeah, blah 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 blah. So if you're in the place, if you're in a stadium, if you're in the arena, they don't tell you, don't hear the announcer, you don't hear Michael Cole and like Wade Barrett, you just watch, you're just there, you know what I'm saying? You don't hear nothing, no one's explaining anything to you where you're there. So it's kind of like you just gotta figure shit out. So it's like some people, I didn't even know who it was. I didn't know who it was. If I was there, I'd probably boo too, just because I have no idea who it is, and there's no like name and or no nothing or anything else like that. So I'm just like, I don't know. But from what people are telling, or what people are talking about this person, like he's a wrestler, but he probably won't wrestle as much. He's kind of like a comedy relief. I guess he's like the white version of R-Truth, I guess you could say. So I don't know what he's gonna do and everything else like that. The one thing that just came to my mind as soon as they said it was CM Punk's best friend, I'm just like, well, we have to freaking use him, right? And this feud between and this thing between Punk and Reigns, right? How can you not? It's like right there. Like how do you not use this guy? That's that. So we'll see what happens with Danhausen, or Danhausen. I can't fucking pronounce his name. Danhausen. I'm just calling him Dan. Okay, we're gonna see what happens with Dan. Okay, and see what happens. I'm sure he's gonna be used. He has to be used in this WrestleMania thing. I'm like, I can't see not. I mean, that's like first thing I thought of as soon as Punk. It's like CM Punk's best friend. I'm like, oh yeah, let's use him. Let's use him. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. That was a very interesting debut. Anyways, like I said, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. I do have some more videos coming out this week, so be on the lookout for that. But until then, I'll see you in my next video. Okay, bye!